everybody. So today I am going to share with you some stuff about a couple of my favorite topics, which are gardening, and fancy drinks, and healthy stuff, tangentially. So background, way back in the day, I was big time into craft and vintage cocktails when they were kind of an underground thing. Even helped found a local chapter of Lupec. And now, you can't even throw a rock without hitting a craft cocktail bar. But back in the day, it used to be kind of an obscure thing. I'm talking 10, 15 years ago or so. But present day, honestly, as I'm getting older, just alcohol, this is not sitting well with me anymore. I cannot hang like I used to. My body hates it. I feel terrible. And also, we're all budget minded now, so it costs a lot of money. So I just don't really, drink anymore. I haven't forgone it entirely, but it's a fraction of what it used to be. I still make a real cocktail for Repeal Day every year, and on occasion have a beer or a wine. Beyond that, not really into it. But luckily, I'm not alone. There are many people out there who are greatly reducing or just stopping altogether for all kinds of reasons. And the good part about about it becoming a thing is that now there are just so many more choices available out there. Advanced mocktails, I really hate that term, but I can't think of a better one, are really taking off. So some cities even have totally dry bars or dry nights, or at least a large section of menu where they've really put some thought into creating beverages that are like the cocktail experience, but without the alcohol. So you're not stuck with, a Shirley Temple or some awful generic soda. There are now companies, you've probably seen ads on social media for elixirs and pre-made craft mocktails that you can buy, which are totally an option, and I hear a lot of them are really good. But as you know, we are on budget life. So I am going to try and make my own. What I'm going to do is kind of like just a really strong sun tea, but made with stuff from the garden, maybe a few things from the pantry as well, and just let it kind of marinate out in the sun and get all happy and see what we come up with. I think I'm going to go for something that's a bit, hits the flavor notes of gin, so I'm going for herbaceous and floral, maybe a little bit stringent. And I'm going to do it with some flowers and herbs and whatever I can get my hands on that'll mimic that. So we're out in the garden on this beautiful breezy spring morning, and the first thing that catches my eye that's going to be great in this is lavender, and I have so much of it right now. So I'm definitely going to grab some of this, and it's kind of time to deadhead it anyway. And that's going to help it bloom even more. So let's get a few of these. Also under this lavender is a little rosemary plant. And I think a little bit of this will add some nice woody herbaceousness. Something like juniper berries, which I don't have access to right here. So I'm going to grab some of that too. And in this barrel, we have mint and basil. Mint might be a good choice for something different. I think it's too overpowering and doesn't really fit the profile for this batch, but I think I will grab a little basil. That could be interesting. Also, we have our lemongrass. I think lemongrass would be a really nice addition, so I'm definitely going to pull one of those out to add. Now the borage or barrage, or however you pronounce it, has been going absolutely bonkers, and the bees are into it. I am going to grab a few of the blossoms from the bees. Sorry guys. Because they have a subtle cucumbery flavor. I don't know if it's going to come through, but I'm going to give it a shot, and maybe as a bonus, maybe it'll tint it a little bit, I hope. Maybe like a light bluish color. I'd love that. Not going to count on it, but I'm going to get some anyway. Now, this might sound like a really weird thing to add, but I think I'm going to put some carrot tops in there because they're kind of like parsley, but even more like powerfully astringent. So I'm going to throw some in there and see what happens. They're right down here. This is our loot from the garden. I think it's a pretty good selection. Now I am going to raid the cabinets and see if we can find a few other additions. And I think definitely some green cardamom would be good. I'm going to smash those before I throw them in the mix. And some bay leaves. That will add kind of a little bit of earthiness, I think. So I'm going to put both of these in there too. Now I think this formulation could use the brightness of citrus. And our Meyer lemon tree still has lemons that are this big. But lucky for us, some of our neighbors, this sweet older couple down the street, happen to have a grapefruit tree, and they said come by anytime and help yourself to grapefruits. So I'm gonna take them up on it. It's going to be about 80 degrees today, so I chose to just stick it outside in the sun and let it stew. If you're in a cold climate, then you can probably just stick it in the fridge for a day or two and let it steep, or if you're more patient than I am. If you're less patient than I am, you could probably just quickly bring it to a simmer on the stove and then immediately put it in the freezer to cool it down. I worry about getting it too hot because I think it's going to break down those fresh flavors and make it taste cooked. So you want gentle heat, which is why I'm doing sun tea over here. I think I'm going to let it go, maybe till the sun goes down. So now that you have this wonderful and lovely herbal and floral elixir, what in the heck are you going to do with it? First of all, it smells great, but it's very strong and it's unsweetened. So at minimum, it should be diluted and probably sweetened before you enjoy it. Or you can make one of those mocktails I was talking about. Oh, you want a pretentious mocktail? We can do that too. Cheers. Treat yourself moderately.